Starting this session today, the date is the 25th day of May 2013, and I'm going to read a few factual short stories with the same format, short and compact. The first one is London. Libraries, nightclubs, restaurants, night buses, the metro, featured in his daily life when he was living in London, England. He changed addresses frequently, made regular visits to parks, St. James Park, with his near Buckingham Palace, Hyde Park also nearby, Regent's Park a little bit further away, Finsbury Park a little bit further away, Hampstead Heath much further away, in all seasons and even in inclement weather conditions. Nightclubs exposed him to music, food and drink. Working as a nightclub employee also enabled him to observe the drug scene. Often he slept rough. Libraries offered him literary opportunities. There was a phase when he was visiting many library branches during the period of 1 week. Here he acquired an unsuitable or insatiable appetite for literature. He read Racine, Molière, Colette, and François Sagan. The restaurants he patronized included the most expensive, the Suntory, a Japanese restaurant located behind the Ritz Hotel, and Auboin Saint-Jean, a French restaurant in the northwest area of London, St. John's Wood. He also ate at McDonald's, Wimpy, and quick fast food outlets. There was a particular restaurant that he patronized weekly with his former spouse. The restaurant was in central London on Romilly Street. Romilly spelled capital R-O-M-I-L-Y, or double L-Y rather. Close to Chinatown and Leicester Square, this eatery was owned and operated by an Italian family. London continued to surface whenever he had time to reflect on what he regarded as segments of his immemorable past, living in the UK. And following that is another short story written in the same format as fiction, but it is actually factual. Alone, Sabishi Sa. An Irish woman, a resident of New Hampshire and the USA, had intimated in a letter to him, "You have been lonely most of your life. Recently you have managed to nullify and state with detachment. He had discussed this theory Until recently, he was also aware that detachment could revert back to loneliness again. In his childhood, living in the Eastern Caribbean on an island 36 square miles, Nevis, he could recall many moments when he was alone, walking around the acreage that was cultivated next to the house where he was living with parents and sisters. On the east, or to the east, is a mountain over 3,000 feet high. Hills, a small village surrounding to the west. Above, coconut trees, a vast expansive Caribbean Sea. Across the street, paralleling his home, a sports ground where cricket is the main activity. Hummingbirds and sunshine, drought and hurricane, regular trips to nearby St. Kitts with his late father by ferry and cargo boats, relying only on sail, loaded mostly with sugar cane and vegetables. Yet he contributed his early bouts of loneliness to a yearning to see other islands in the Caribbean, Europe, the USA, and the world. Now, concluding this session with some music and in between some ad-libbing. The weather outside is okay for this time of year. The news reports have been mixed. In some cases quite terrifying, but I continue to try to record these ideas. 2006, it's a Wednesday. I'm here to know it again, recording. Material at the controls is Yarda Junichi-san, and I am Edmund Bridgewater. Osaka Minami Kita. Bars, night spots, nocturnal fantasies, imagination barely stretched until memory opposed widow. Higashi Park, winding roads that lead to mountains, a zoo, kids having fun, anonymity on the run, assimilating confusion. Fukiya, too soon to recall. Fukiya, delicately kept a secret from nostalgia. Roppongi, slaw, pace reduced to rural. Cookies bought at Mrs. Fields satisfy an appetite yearning for joy. The tabler spoke, using hands nimble. It said, Miles, on it, Roy, Sometimes doubts creep in. A door locked on the inside opens wide. Confidence enters. Doubts hide until winter. On paper, so near yet far away, the summing up of the day, midway through its tenure, far-reaching consequences on paper. All clear, a hum caresses ear, meditation in the air. Troubling signs dissipate, lessen fear. A notion echoes. All clear.